So, no, I didn't pass Security Plus the first time, but I'm not giving up. And today I'm here answering your questions from the comments that you left me in my last video. I failed Security Plus and why I'm not giving up. So, let's begin because I have a list of awesome questions that I think would really help you in your journey for the CompTIA Security Plus exam. And if I had an opportunity to have these questions answered, I think it might have helped me a little bit more. Even though I passed, I didn't pass. I failed the test by a nose hair. So you needed a 750 to pass. I believe I got a 730, which is about 20 points off. It was like so close. So I'm really excited about retaking the exam again. I really felt confident the first time that I did it, and I felt as though that I did really good to be someone who had no knowledge of Security Plus. So I don't have an IT background, and I don't have a Cybersecurity Plus background. So basically, I kind of went in and did a lot of studying on my own. And I think I was really kind of proud of myself. I was sad at the beginning, don't get me wrong. I was definitely heartbroken. But I'm going to share just some different things with you on how you can properly prepare and just some red flags and stuff to be aware of before you take the exam. Okay? All right, so stay tuned. Okay, so the very first red flag that I want to mention is that when I did go into the exam location to take my test, there was a lot of noise. And so basically, the noise is like this white noise canceling device that's used in the Pearson view locations to, I guess, prevent any communication or cheating between testers and everything. However, the location that I took the exam in, the noise was excessive. It was extremely loud and it was so distracting. And they give you headphones and stuff to put on, but the headphones are so big and so tight, they cause ear fatigue. And I can still hear the white noise, behind, outside of the headphones. And so, so that was just one red flag. I really felt uncomfortable when I arrived and everything, and I should have rescheduled. I just was so excited to take the test. I don't know if that really affected, my testing performance. It could have, because I did feel like a little rush, like I wanted to get out of there. So, that's just something to keep in mind, like if that is an issue, because I've taken other exams at Pearson View prior to that where there was no white noise, but I guess that's something they're doing now. And when I took AZ 900 at a totally different location, they had the white noise canceling box, but it was not as loud. This one is sound like a server in a building, like in a server room. So that's how loud it was. So it was, I don't want to, demonstrate, because someone may have their headphones on and I don't want to be too loud if they're while you're listening to this video. So, the best way that I could describe it is it sounded like an airplane idling, and I did complain about it. And Pearson View did refund me for the exam, so I do get to take the exam again. And so that was one of the issues that I had, and maybe I could have, passed that particular time and everything, if I, didn't have such a big distraction, which it was still like a very small percentage that I missed it by. But I just wanted to share that with anybody, just to, be aware of that. If you come across this, if you have like a very, like I have very sensitive ears, so I can like basically hear things outside of my house, and everything going on, people closing their doors and all of that stuff. So I have a very heightened sensitivity to my ears and everything. So I can, get easily distracted. And I was very, very much looking forward to the quiet time to take the exam because I was studying with a lot of noise in my home and everything, with my son and his father watching sports and, hearing those different things throughout the house while I'm trying to study. So I was looking forward to that quiet time, and it didn't happen. But that's just something that I really wanted to share. So just know, if the testing environment isn't comfortable for you, or if there's any red flags when you get there, you can request to be rescheduled, by the examiner. They shouldn't give you a hard time, especially if you're letting them know, like, look, this is going to be a distraction for me. I'm not one of these people that concentrate under these types of circumstances. Oh, and there was a very large fan in there too. In addition to the white noise, there was a very loud fan as well. So I think that Pearson View kind of knew, like, that was a very big issue, because I didn't have any problem with them refunding my money. So they gave me a voucher to retake the exam again. Okay, so that was just something that, that I really wanted to share. It would have been nice if they would have gave me them 30 points or 20 points, whatever I needed to pass, because that would have made it all really, really worthwhile. So let's get into these questions. So we got that red flag out of the way. All right, so question number 1: what study materials did you use for the CompTIA Security Plus exam? So the two main study materials I used was the Security Plus book, Get Certified, Get Ahead by Daryl Gibson and Joe Shelley. So that book was really excellent. I did attempt some of the labs, but I didn't really get into them too much because I just got so much study fatigue and everything. And that could have been one of the reasons why I had a little bit of challenging on the PBQs. I think the PBQs was the most difficult part. Because I didn't have like a lot of hands-on experience from like training or school or anything like that. But that's something that I'm going to definitely be working on. The other study material that I used was Professor Messer's, which was really good. I started out with Professor Messer, and then I went to, oh, uh-oh, my camera just fell. Okay, I hope it stays up now. So then I went to Daryl Gibson's book, Get Certified, Get Ahead. And it was very, very much more in detail. Professor Messer kind of gives like an outline of everything. So it's good for people who've already are in IT, or who already have some familiarity, for my opinion, with Security Plus. And so that seemed more so kind of like a quick study for me, the way Professor Messer breaks down his materials. But I do like having the book, the physical book, because it just seems more realistic to me, and I can absorb the material a lot better. Looking at the computer all day long, listening to videos and stuff over and over and over again to kind of grasp the material, it creates a big fatigue for me, even if I'm writing notes, but it definitely does. So, but both materials were very effective. They were very good. I feel like I've definitely learned a lot. It helped prepare me for the test as well. Now, prior to that, I did take Google Cybersecurity certificate, and I completed that. I can't say that that really prepared me for CompTIA's exam. However, it definitely, gave me, a lot of insight into cybersecurity. It gave me a lot of good information and hands-on as well. And they just kind of do a broad sense of cybersecurity. So it's not like honed in onto the cybersecurity material itself. It's just like the overall process of cybersecurity, cloud programming, GRC, all of those different areas and stuff combined. But it's not like focusing on the what do they call it, the exam objectives itself. So Get Certified, Get Ahead, I think does an excellent job of that, and there are a lot of good practice tests in there as well. So question number 2: how long did you prepare for the exam? I prepared for the exam about 6 months. I gave myself about 6 months to prepare for the exam because I was a newbie and I definitely, didn't want to rush into it. It was a very expensive exam. It's about $400, I believe, when I took it. And, I really wanted to really strive to do my best. I wanted to take it earlier at some points. Of course, I also had a lot of, hiccups and everything that came just being a mom and everything, taking care of a lot of things where sometimes I had to like put the book aside because my son might have been out of school and spending time with him, or just, I think it was the summertime and everything, and just kind of, you know, parts of life. So I wish I could have just gone in there and been one of those individuals who studied for a few weeks. But I gave myself about 6 months. hmm So, question number 3. What topics did you find most challenging on the Security Plus exam? I think the crypto, cryptography and GRC were the most difficult at the beginning. For me, as I do the practice test now and everything, it becomes a little more easier, maybe because it's repetitive or because I have a little deeper understanding of it now. But those were the most difficult, and of course the performance-based questions, because it's several different questions in one question. I can't really like go into what exactly is on the test, but I can like say there's multiple definition matching, a phrase or a word to a particular definition. You have to match that up. Also, there is the firewall configuration, and I forgot what the other one was, but I had about 4 or 5 performance-based questions. So some people that I know, like one of the mentors in my internship stated that when he took Security Plus, he didn't even get a chance to do the performance-based questions. He just skipped them and put them towards the end, and he focused in on a lot of the text questions and everything, and he passed. That might work for some people, but I just wanted to make sure that I can increase my options either way. So if I fall short, I can still pass. So, 'cause, some people have like a lot of knowledge in those areas because of their work experience. But he was still surprised that he passed with all the experience that he has, and I thought that was really encouraging because some people can work really well like that with a lot of theory and everything. I'm more of a hands-on person, but yeah. So those were the challenging parts: the cryptography and GRC for me. That was for me. I will say for the, even though I'm new to networking, surprisingly, that was the area that I tested well in. Even on AZ900, I even tested well in networking. So on a lot of the practice tests and everything, I did really well in networking. So I was very surprised at that, but that was one of my best areas. I know no one asked that, but just in case you were wondering. Okay. So, question number 4. Do you recommend any specific practice exams or resources? Yes, the ones that I stated that I use. Professor Messer, I did purchase his practice exam, and I also purchased his notes as well. And then in the Security Plus, Get Certified, Get Ahead book by Daryl Gibson. That particular book has a lot of different practice exams at the end of each chapter, and they have a pre-exam and a post-exam when you finish the book. So those were excellent. And I love the way he explains things. So he really breaks them down into layman's terms. So that really helps out a lot. Question number 5. How did you manage your study schedule alongside other commitments? Woo. Yeah. So I just had to just like grind. So I work very well with productivity by creating lists for me and tasks for the day. So I would write down which chapters I wanted to complete each particular day. A lot of times I may get them done or I might not, but I would, kind of be recommitted to that list and everything. So I would have everything listed out that I needed to do for the household and for my family and for my studies and everything, and just kind of go by that. So sometimes when I would sit down and I would start to read, I would basically end up falling asleep. so so I would skip to the practice test and kind of work backwards just to keep my mind, going, just kind of have like my hands and my mind going at the same time, because I would start reading and sit down and relax and everything, and then I'm passed out. So basically, the productivity list definitely will help keep me on track. I have to work with lists. I need that. I kind of put a lot of agile practices into how I operate in my daily life and my family life. So that helps me out a whole lot. Okay, question number 6. What changes will you make to your study approach for the next time? So for this time, when I go back and I as I prepare to retake the test again, all I'm doing is just practice tests, because I have to take 701. I did purchase the new book, Get Certified, Get Ahead 701 series, the 701 section or test, whatever it's called, S701 for Security Plus. But I haven't used it yet because I've been using a lot of practice tests. I'll use the practice test in there as well, but I've just been using a lot of practice tests for 701 because it's going to be hard for me to sit down and reread that book again. I didn't realize that, okay, I just read the whole 601 book. Now I got to read 701 again from the beginning. And then some of the material may be the same. I know all of it is not the same, but even my mentor basically suggested just go hard with the practice test right now. He was like, because you were so close and you got a lot of the knowledge and information, so just go really hard with the practice test. So that's what I'm doing right now, is a lot of practice tests. Anything I don't understand, I'm looking up the definition for, and then also documenting my own definition to why the question, the answer is what it is. And if I don't know what it means, then I'm researching what it means and I'm putting it in my notes so that I can understand it and make sure that that I get it in my brain. Okay, all right. So question number 7: can you share any tips for staying motivated after a setback? Yeah, definitely. I need a job. So if you need a job, you don't have a choice but to stay motivated. And the job to me is more than enough motivation, knowing, the security that I could bring back to my life, because I've been out of work for about 18 months now. My last job as a UX designer, I made really good money. I was making around like 95,000 a year and everything. That was really good. But in UX design, there's not a lot of growth that I see. You can either be a designer or a manager. And I wanted to be able to have a career where I can have skills where I can do at least 10 different jobs. And with IT and of course cybersecurity, you can do that. If you set yourself up right, one contract ends or one job ends, you'll be able to go to many different areas or different types of companies in order to work, because you have so many skills just within this one skill set. So, gaining, upskilling, and being able to have multiple job options and make more money is definitely is what keeps me motivated. So my next question, number 8: how did you handle the performance-based questions on the exam? So with the performance-based questions, I basically kind of did like a process of elimination, or I tried to like de-engineer, some of the issues that were there I didn't get all of them wrong, but like I said, there's several different questions within that one particular question. So you may have 4 or 5 questions, but there may be about 5 different responses that you have to do to that one question, and within that one question. So with the definitions, I did the process of elimination. Of course, I did the ones that I knew first, and then I think with the technical ones, I can't remember the other one. No one was a firewall. I can't remember what the other one was. But anyway, of course, they had to do with networking and everything. I kind of did the process of elimination, what kind of makes sense. Also, just de-engineering things from what I kind of knew, a little bit of what I knew and everything. But that process gave me a little bit of inspiration and helped me realize that I really like networking and that I really want to kind of capitalize on that. So that was the best that I could do, because like I said, I was learning on my own. It's different when you are, in a course where you have access to those materials, to the different types of resources that you need. And as I stated before, it was really hard for me to kind of go back and do the labs and get certified, get ahead and everything, because I got so much fatigue from just the long studying and everything like that. So I just kind of was like, maybe I should have dug into it a little bit deeper, but but yeah, so that's what I did, with my limited at-home networking knowledge that I had. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure I added to my score a little bit, but that's how I handled those particular areas. Okay, and that was the performance-based questions, how I handled the performance-based questions. Number 9, what advice do you have for others who have failed certification exams? As I state all the time, and I will say this forever, do not give up. I know the tests are expensive. I totally understand that, but don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Even if you got to make that little extra sacrifice, if you have to pay for it again, try to, maybe do a side hustle, save up the money and everything, go back hard in and studying. If you're working at your job and everything, have your job pay for it and stuff. But, join a community similar to, my channel, or another community where other people are going through the same thing and they can share, what helped them finally pass the exam and everything. So, nothing beats a failure but a try. So the only way to just succeed is to keep trying and trying. Most of the things that exist in this world that's been created, that we utilize, we're on the computer now. I'm pretty sure that wasn't successful the first time. I'm using the camera. That wasn't successful the first time. The person that created the vehicles or invented all of these things that we use, they dealt with, failure over and over again. I'm used to dealing with failure throughout my life because I'm the type of person that really doesn't take failure as my only option. So I'm, to me, it was nothing to say, yeah, I'm doing this again. My biggest thing was just okay, where am I going to get the money to take it again? But luckily, I was able to get the refund and everything. And then also I'm a student, so there is a student option that if you are enrolled in school and you have your student email and they can verify you can get the student pricing to take the CompTIA exams. I'll leave that information below where you can go and you can register, because I think that they take almost around 40, maybe 40 something, maybe 45% off or something like that in order for you to take the exam. And so that's a big chunk of money that you can save as well. But as I stated, I just don't give up. It's not in me. It's never been in me to give up. And it's try and try again. I've been like that since I was a little kid, and I suggest anybody be that way. Yeah, it's scary. It makes you feel uncomfortable and vulnerable, and everything, embarrassed and stuff. But I like to be able to share that I've overcome something rather than live with the embarrassment of not, accomplishing anything. So it's more exciting to me to say, okay, I'm gonna go back and do this again, and then I'm gonna share with somebody else. I can help somebody else because nobody was there to help me. I only had myself, but now you got me to motivate you. So yeah, so definitely don't give up. Okay, I don't want to hear that any of you gave up. All right. Okay. Okay, question number 10. Did you find any particular study guides more helpful than others? Yes, I stated it was definitely Get Certified, Get Ahead, just because of the way things are detailed within the book and broken down for layman terms, for just about anybody to understand that's new to cybersecurity, and the practice exams and the labs and stuff that are also in the book definitely are very helpful for any newbies. So I would definitely take a look at Daryl Gibson's book, Get Certified, Get Ahead, 701 for Cybersecurity Plus. All right.